This is Ben Mycelis from the MeidasTouch Network, and this is a breaking news alert. The Department of Justice has filed an unopposed motion to exceed the page limitation in its response to Trump's motion for judicial oversight and other relief, which was filed in the Southern District of Florida federal court before Judge Eileen Cannon. And this motion by the Department of Justice asking for this oversized motion, a 40-page brief is what the Department of Justice is requesting, was granted by the court. This motion will be filed on Tuesday, August 30th. And to give you a reminder of what happened here, the magistrate judge is Judge Reinhart. Judge Reinhart is a magistrate judge in the Southern District of Florida who signed the search warrant, which was executed on August 8th. Several weeks passed. Trump filed nothing before Judge Reinhart, the actual judge overseeing the search warrant. What Trump did instead was on August 22nd, Trump and his lawyers filed a motion before a federal judge in the Southern District of Florida. They happened to draw a Trump appointee, Judge Eileen Cannon, and they filed what was called a motion for judicial oversight and other relief, which is a made-up motion. Like, no lawyers actually heard of what that motion is. There's motions for preliminary injunctions, there's temporary restraining orders, there's motions to compel, but this is basically what happened was they wrote like a letter to the judge on August 22nd. On August 23rd, the judge said, "What are you really asking me to do here? I mean, it looks like you're saying in your original motion you want me to appoint a special master. Are you asking for an injunction? What are you asking me to do, and what's my authority?" On August 26th, Trump and his lawyers filed before Judge Eileen Cannon a supplemental motion, no affidavits, no declarations under penalty of perjury. Again, just writing a letter saying, "We want you to appoint a special master." And then the next day, on August 27th, over this weekend, Judge Cannon, even though this motion was completely bizarre and really made no sense, the judge said, "You know what? It would be my intent to order that a special master be appointed." Everyone said, "What's a special master?" A special master is just an independent third party that is appointed by a judge to look at documents, review documents for potential privilege, prepare a report to the judge about which documents are privileged and not privileged, and then the judge can determine how to proceed from there. So this federal judge, Eileen Cannon, said, "It'd be my intent to appoint a special master." Now, earlier today, as of this recording, Monday morning, August 29th, the government filed a notice that basically said, "We're going to make a filing on August 30th. But we want to let you know, Judge, that we've already reviewed all of these documents because the search warrant was executed on August 8th of 2022. It's now August 29th of 2022, and the procedures for executing this search warrant were set forth in the search warrant." And the Department of Justice had two teams that searched Mar-a-Lago. One team was an investigating team. One team was a filter team. And the filter team is the team that already did a privilege review, that looked through these documents, sorted out what was potentially privileged, found a limited set of documents that are potentially privileged, set those aside, and all of the other documents are now being reviewed by the Office of Director of National Intelligence, ODNI, and these are highly classified, top secret, sensitive, compartmented information that our intelligence community is now reviewing to determine if our national security was compromised and the extent of our national security compromised by Donald Trump stealing these records. In other words, Judge, we've already reviewed these records. There's nothing that a special master can do at this point. And frankly, if Trump actually wanted a special master and if he wanted relief, here's what you do. The day the search warrant is executed on August 8th, guess what you do? You go into court that day. You go into court the 9th, the 10th, the 11th, the 12th. You don't wait 3 weeks if you genuinely think that your rights are being violated, which they're not here. I also want to make this clear. Any privilege claim by Trump is utterly ridiculous and false. A current current president is the one who can assert executive privilege. Past presidents have no right to assert executive privilege currently. There's also no issues here of attorney-client privilege, although that's one of the things Trump's asserting. I mean, what could possibly be attorney-client privilege with top secret, sensitive, compartmented information? Anyway, to the extent there was, the government has already reviewed it, set that aside. The taint team or the filter team has moved those documents in a separate area. So now what's going on, though, is that the government's saying, get ready for a huge response here, a massive takedown of Trump's motion for judicial oversight. The government needs 40 pages where they are going to methodically go after and explain what's going on here, all of Trump's corruption. Now, a lot of this, I want to caution, is probably not going to be public. A lot of this is going to be under seal, going to be kept confidential because of the national security implications here. But there may be significant portions that will be made public, but we should expect a massive takedown of all of Trump's motion for judicial oversight. The very notion that there should be a special master when we're talking about top secret, sensitive, compartmented information, top secret SCI information, things that are viewed in secret compartmented information facilities, SCIFs. They're so highly confidential. And the fact that a president would claim, a former president would claim executive privilege over documents right now that are top secret compartmented information is just utterly, utterly absurd. So get ready for that motion that's coming, a 40-page motion, and maybe we'll learn a little more information. Like we're also learning today, for example, from a report in the Rolling Stone, for example, Rolling Stones magazine, that Donald Trump had been bragging to associates. He'd been bragging to friends that he had compromat on Macron from France. That the president of France, he was bragging that he had compromat on Macron. And one of the documents that were identified, we don't know if this was compromat or not, but documents relating to the president of France, Macron. So that's something that may be addressed. They're definitely going to address the fact that this was a valid warrant. The procedures were set forth. The issues here are moot at this point because the documents have been reviewed. In fact, I think they're going to raise this issue. You know, back in May of 2022, the Department of Justice had told Trump with respect to the first 15 boxes that were received in January of 2022 that there was no executive privilege and they were going to review it. At any of this time, Donald Trump could have filed a motion in May of 2022. His lawyers could have filed a motion and said these documents are executive privilege documents. So one of the arguments I expect the Department of Justice to also say is not only are these documents not privileged, but to the extent there's a claim of privilege, it's waived because we told them we were going to look at these documents and they did nothing. I get that Donald Trump and his lackeys want to go on and whine and lie and spread disinfo on all these radical right extremist networks, but they're not filing these motions actually in court. I think that's what the Department of Justice is also going to point out. So a big 40-page motion is coming. We'll keep you updated on what's going on there. This is Ben Meiselas from the MeidasTouch Network. Let's see what happens with this 40-page motion. The judge, of course, granted the ability for the Department of Justice to file this. That motion will be coming our way. We'll keep you updated here on the MeidasTouch Network. Hit the subscribe button now. Support independent media. Join the Meidas Mighty movement, please. Talk to you soon.
MeidasTouch is unapologetically pro-democracy. And look, we know you are too. So please make sure you check out our best-selling shirt and our best-selling gear, the unapologetically pro-democracy gear. And hey, while you're at it, make sure you check out my favorite shirt and one of our most famous designs. It wasn't rigged, you're just a loser. At store.meidastouch.com. That's store.meidastouch.com.